Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do a little bit of a update on yours truly. um, you guys know that I went through a life altering, no joke, a life altering situation 6 months ago. If you don't, if you are new to my channel, the situation I'm talking about is losing my dad. I lost him March 12th, and it was a very shitty day to say the least. Um, so I wanted to give you a bit of an update on where I'm at the moment. So I may seem a little different lately, hopefully, and hopefully for the better. I have been going to counseling, and I've had, by the time you see this, I have definitely had 2 sessions. I have hopefully will be uh, after my third, and yeah, and I'm doing okay. I think um, in hindsight, I kind of think that I should have gone in the very beginning, but I think there was just way too much stuff going on for me that, emotionally speaking, that I just couldn't see, I guess, that I needed to be there. I was just too overwhelmed in the beginning to, um, there was too much kind of chaos, I guess, internally going on, and I remember saying to someone, I think it was my cousin, shortly after my dad died, that I just can't seem to see the forest for the trees right now, and I couldn't. I was very emotional, very overwhelmed, very just out of it. And I remember a few people saying to me in the beginning that when they would look at me, it was like they were like looking right through me, and I was there, but I wasn't. I wasn't connecting with people. I wasn't, um, when we were in family situations, for example, when like my whole family was together, I would have to leave the room, and at times, because I can't handle crowds, or I couldn't handle crowds, and I was that way on the bus as well. You guys might know that I take city transportation to get around, and yeah, I just, crowds were not my thing for a very long time. Probably, I don't even remember, it was probably at least 4 months that I just couldn't deal. And I felt like every time I got on the bus, I was trying not to burst into tears. And because I think when I was home, it was a situation of, I was on YouTube, I was doing my videos, I didn't have to think. And then when I got on the bus and I was going somewhere, that gave me the kind of unwelcomed opportunity to think. And I didn't want to think at that time. Um, I didn't want to let thoughts in that reminded me of my dad. I didn't want to let thoughts in that reminded me of what happened to him. Um, I didn't want to think about the night that he died, and I was. And it was a very, very dark time for me. Very, very sad time for me. Um, Still, in a sense, I would say I'm working through it. I don't really think, especially losing a parent, I don't think you ever really get over something like this. I think it definitely in time gets easier, maybe, um, but it never goes away. And there's 2 things I would say, well, 3 things I would say, that really kind of helped me to get through it. One being the support of my family and friends, and in that, realizing and seeing that some of which who you thought were close to you or, good friends maybe weren't. Um, so that has been interesting for me. The second being people that I have connected with here not here, but on Facebook, out of the groups that I was in when I started my business, friendships that I've made through the internet, basically. um, I've known one of these gals, well, two gals, for probably 4 years or more. And then one I had recently just met, about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And if it really wasn't for them and them allowing me, or some of them allowing me the opportunity to have a connection with my dad, I wouldn't be doing as well as I am. And I know that because I've seen the clarity that I've gotten in the last even 2 months. Um, two of which of these people that I'm talking about, they are intuitive, and one of the two had actually connected with my dad, and I mean, my hands went numb when she described what he looked like, when she told me that he was okay, and it just, that whole, I'm not going to go into the whole situation of what she said because it's private, I feel, but I mean, my hands went numb. I almost dropped the phone, to be honest with you, because I just couldn't believe that she was able to describe him so vividly, and having not not having not been meeting him, um, having not ever met him, in her life, having not ever met me in person, and I mean, it was crazy the things that she had mentioned in our conversation. So, but it's those opportunities that I was given to connect with him that have really gotten me through and have really, I feel, changed things for me. Um, it feels as if there's been kind of a weight lifted, in all honesty, that I don't feel like I'm in that kind of dark depression anymore, and I was very, very much. And I mean, even looking back at my videos, I look back in particularly at the Soul Visionary blogs that I did, and I mean, I feel like I'm a completely different person from that point to now. I just looked like vacant in those videos, and hopefully I don't now. um, but yeah, I looked like I was not there. It was like the lights are on, but nobody's home. Um, and the reason why I remember saying to you guys that I was thinking about taking them down, the reason that I didn't was partly because in some of them there are some hauls that I did that I just kind of combined into one video. But the biggest reason for me that I didn't is because that really represented a growth period for me, and it was a huge part of my life that I kind of like in a way that it's documented, because I can see, you know, where I was, which was not a happy place, but I can see that now I have come out of that, and I'm, in some ways, I'm still working on coming out of it, but I mean, I'm leaps and bounds from where I was at that point for sure. So I didn't take them down for those reasons. Um, and I mean, with the whole having hauls attached to them and stuff like that, I just thought it would be fun for you guys to see what I got over that time period too. But the main reason for me was to see kind of where I was at that point and where I am now, really. Um, so what I would say to you guys is that if you're dealing with any kind of situation, it doesn't have to be death. It could be, you may have depression over something. Maybe you had a breakup that was really super important to you. It could be anything really. If you're dealing with any kind of situation that you feel like you're just struggling to get through, please do go and talk to someone. And the first step really, there's two biggest steps to me: reaching out to someone and committing to going. I can say that because I had a lot of trouble getting my head around going to someone. And it's weird for me to say that because I come from a social work background, and so I know, excuse me, oh, I know the ins and outs of that whole situation. I know how that works. So, and I mean, just my own life. I've lived in this sort of social work realm, if you want to call it that, my whole life. I've lived in a wheelchair my whole life. I have been on assistance pretty much my whole life. I know the way that this world works, and that this life works. And so for me to feel weird about going to see someone, that in itself was weird for me because essentially I've been there, and I know questions that counselors ask because I've taken those classes, and I've been in that mindset because I've thought about being a social worker since I was 6 years old. But I think the biggest misconception is that when you're going to talk to someone, you a lot of people feel like, and it's not, misconception is not the right word, but a lot of people don't like talking about themselves in those kind of situations, and I'm one of them. I happen to be the type that I'm very much there for the friends that I have and the family members that I'm close to. I'm very much, someone who wants to help. I'm very much someone who will be there for you, at the drop of a hat. I am very much someone who is dedicated to the people that I am connected to, the people that I am loyal to, the people that I love, my friends and family. And so when it comes to talking about me in that respect, it was like no bueno. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to. And I think there's a big misconception about going to someone and just like spilling your guts to someone you don't know. Um, it's that's kind of like a no-no in a lot of people's minds. And to me, there really isn't anything wrong with that. And I kind of think that if you're the person that is going to someone to talk to them, first of all, you have the upper hand, in my opinion. I feel like you can divulge whatever you want to divulge to them. You can keep to yourself whatever you want to keep to yourself. There's a flip side to that, however, that what you keep to yourself may or may not be things that you essentially should be telling them. If it's things that's hurtful or whatever, to you. And at the end of the day, if there's things that you don't divulge to them that you should be, you're only hurting yourself. So, it works both ways. But you essentially call the shots in this type of situation. And at the end of the day, it's up to you where it goes. And the flip side of that, I feel, is that if you are not comfortable with whoever it is you choose to see, you have the right to say, you know what, I'm not comfortable. I don't know. Maybe it's a situation that you don't know why you're not comfortable. You don't know why you're not having that kind of connection with them. But if you're not, you're not. You don't really have to justify yourself. You don't have to explain yourself. if you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable, and it's up to them to suggest alternatives. It's up to them to, um, you know, give you another name if that would be helpful to change counselors, that sort of thing, if you want to go that route. But really, they're just a sounding board at the end of the day. They don't make the decisions for you. You make the decisions for you. So if it is a situation of you're not comfortable with them, change your counselor. Go to someone else. And if it's a situation of you feel, you don't know where to go, you know something's wrong, but you don't know what it is, that's okay. When I started out with this, I didn't know, essentially what was wrong. Obviously, it was because I lost my dad, but I couldn't pinpoint, really where things started going downhill, or I couldn't pinpoint, and specifics of exactly what was going on. And so it was easier for me for her to just ask me questions. And that to me was really helpful because I didn't have to think. Again, it was a situation where, I was comfortable because I didn't have to think. I didn't have to figure things out. I just had to talk. And as much as it has been helpful to talk to my family, to talk to my brother, to talk to my mom, when you're going to see someone who isn't involved and doesn't know you, and doesn't know your family or friends or the person that you've lost, you don't have to, um, you don't have to limit yourself in terms of what you say. You don't have to be, guarded in terms of the information you give them. You can tell them whatever you want. And it's, client confidentiality that they can't tell anyone what you say unless it's going to be harmful to you. So, it's client privilege that you can say whatever you want and they are just there to listen, essentially. They're there to offer advice, they're there to offer, maybe different options, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, the situation is up to you and the outcome is up to you. So that's kind of what I liked about it. And I did start to get a very good rapport with the counselor that I went to. Like I said, you will probably be seeing this. I will hopefully have gone to my third session before you will have seen this, or hope maybe even shortly after. But 3 sessions, I think, is what I will be doing. Because I feel like I'm at a good spot now. I feel like I am at a point where I need to just kind of get a routine for myself and get any focus, I guess, for myself. And, if anything comes up for me that is a kind of roadblock in terms of getting through what I'm going through with my dad, or with losing my dad, I'll deal with it when it comes. But now I'm okay. And I'm really just taking it a day at a time, seeing what happens, and so far so good. So I just wanted to share with you guys my experience and kind of where I'm at right now and what's been going on. And my update about my Soul Visionary Diaries too. I will be keeping those up. So if you want, you can still watch them, still check them out. Yeah. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel to not miss any other videos. I do a video every day of the week, Monday to Friday. So I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.